welcome to another art vlog. So I kind of expected to get, or I hoped to get a little more done this week. I've been doing a lot of this and that, but in the meantime, I've been doing what I can when I can. I also found something kind of cool. These vintage colored pencils. I was actually thinking of trying the Amazon colored pencils, but I don't have a lot of money to spend right now. And then I remembered that I had found these a little bit back. So I thought I would mess around with them a bit, and we'll see. When I opened the box, this is what I saw, so naturally these needed to be organized. One of the pencils was broken and I think one is missing, but other than that, this is a pretty complete set. I decided to draw a somewhat exaggerated face, but it actually didn't turn out quite as exaggerated as I had hoped, but that's okay, because again, you know, practice. I recently discovered Black Bean CMS, aka Christian Scott, who is a really amazing artist on YouTube, and he works mainly with oil pastels. I'm sure I have tried oil pastels at some point in my life, but I really don't remember, and I would love to get some sometime. But anyway, one thing Christian says to do is work with color, and I don't do that very much, so I want to start. I feel this piece started out as promising. Knowing when to quit is definitely a very valuable skill to have when making art, and at one point during the creation of this piece, I was pretty happy with it, but then I went a little too far and screwed it all up. And I know I said I wasn't going to be apologizing for my art on this channel, and I'm not apologizing, I'm just stating facts. I also think I should have either used a smoother paper or made my drawing bigger. Either way, I feel like the texture of the paper with a small scale was difficult for me to work with, and I ended up making this kind of muddy feeling and a little bit weird around the mouth area. Despite the fact that I don't like how this turned out, I'm not against showing you a good shot of the finished piece, but the footage I got of the finished piece was kind of messed up, so I mean, you know, if you want to see it, you can pause at the end. I have been practicing faces and face parts, but I kind of think I need to go look for some art books because I don't really have any good like anatomy books or anything, and I dislike using like a screen, like a phone or a computer to draw from. So hopefully soon I'll get some kind of decent reference material for that. I don't know, we'll see. That being said, I did do a bit of practicing using photos I hastily found online. I know there are actually some good online resources for finding anatomy and faces, but I couldn't remember where, and I was kind of doing these in between other tasks, so again, I just went with the first results I found on Google. And just for fun, I wanted to do a sort of whimsical, imaginative ink drawing. I don't know what style of drawing you would call this, but I went through a phase of doing a lot of these types of pieces. I usually start by making some symmetrical lines and circles and whatnot in pencil, and yes, I'm using a ruler and other objects to make those initial lines, and it's pretty much just made up as I go. I don't do a lot of planning with these types of drawings. They're mostly just kind of meditative and fun to do, but I'm usually pretty happy with how they turn out as well. And speaking of using a ruler or other objects, or using pencil first, or a grid, or any other tool, please don't let anyone tell you that your art isn't real, or isn't good, or whatever, because you use these different tools to create it. Using them isn't inherently bad, and it isn't cheating. I know it might sound absurd, but I have had someone accuse me of this. Once at an art show, I actually had one person act like he caught me because after a close inspection, he could see some remnants of pencil markings under an ink drawing. Now, to be fair, considering who this person was, I knew him. This wasn't a big shock, and I didn't really care, but it was an insight nonetheless into how some people's minds work. Anyway, this also reminds me of another art show incident, which I might save for later because I might have more to say about it. I don't know. We'll see. But in the meantime, I'll quit rambling for now, and you can watch this drawing get completed. Let me tell you, if you don't already know, these are the best erasers. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.